While the US is the epitome of individualism, South Korea is the prime example of a collectivist culture. And recently, that culture revealed itself again during the controversy surrounding the May 18th Starbucks boycott incident. And I'll try to be brief with what happened. So, 3 days ago, Starbucks launched a marketing event for its tumblers. The tumbler name is Tank Tumbler. I don't know if you guys know, but they named the day Tank Day. And ironically, May 18th is a commemoration day in Korea of the violent protest movement against the dictator in the year of 1980. And during that protest, people were killed, and it involved military tanks. And that's why the name Tank Day triggered a lot of people. So many Koreans started posting Starbucks boycott videos online by smashing mugs and smashing tumblers. And the funny thing is, the left-wing politicians made a public decree to restrict other left-wing politicians from entering Starbucks or using its products. From an outside perspective, Korea might not look like this collectivist frenzied society because tourists who visit Korea are often bedazzled by the exquisiteness and the exoticism of a country they only saw through the screens, right? And as the number one consumerist society that spends the most amount of money on luxury items per capita in the world, Korea is heaven for spenders and big shoppers, right? But all the shopping, money spending, and fangirling aside, no one really understands or cares about what kind of country Korea is and what it has become. Because who really cares about reality when we can entertain and distract ourselves with Instagram posts and short form videos, right? And if you haven't clicked off by now, I'll take it that you're interested in what the minority has to say. And let me put it like this. Korea was built upon ambiguity. That means our nation's foundation is vague. And I understand that many Korean people would think this sounds outrageous because a lot of them would say that we were built upon hard work, that we were built upon sacrifice, that we were built upon harmony, and all these other virtues. But to me, these are just feel-good words to quell our anxiety about our ambiguous foundation. And then you might ask, what about other countries, right? Do they have any clear foundations? Well, going over some of the countries that I'm familiar with, modern-day Germany was built upon memory culture and post-war responsibility, right? The US was built upon individual liberty and Christian values. Japan was built upon discipline, order, and meticulous craftsmanship. China was built upon socialism and mass propaganda. And Korea, well, Korea was built upon every single one of those things mentioned above, and none of them at the same time, right? Every one of them makes sense, yet none of them actually feels like Korea alone. And the reason for that is Korea adopted every single ideology that was useful for growth and survival. Let me put it like this. If there was a slogan for Korea, it would sound something like, achieve success by any means necessary. So, ever since the Korean War ended in 1953 and Korea was divided into North and South, the core philosophy of South Korea became success. So in order to survive and compete in the capitalist global economy, Korea had to adopt contradictory ideas simultaneously for maximum growth and maximum speed. So what we did was we adopted American individualism. We adopted Japanese discipline. We adopted Chinese mass mobilization. We adopted European prestige and historical admiration. And once we amalgamated every single philosophy and idea into one giant slurry, we achieved rapid success never before seen in the history of the world, right? But this came at a cost of losing our identity. And look at us now. We have the biggest luxury spending culture, the highest suicide rate, and the lowest birth rate in the world. You know, this reminds me of a story of King Midas from Greek mythology. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. King Midas wished for a golden touch and the power to turn everything he touched into gold, right? But we all know how that story ends.